Hi, welcome to WordPress training. My name is Joshua Bryant, and I work with the AIT team here at University Advancement. Today we're going to be covering a variety of things when it comes to WordPress. So we're going to start with kind of WordPress 101, and then we're going to go into the specifics of the block builder. Now, if you look at the screen, you're going to see this is the number one thing that we want to impress on you. This is the WordPress guide website. It's just wordpress.wfu.edu, and it's going to be your hub for all of your resources that you need as you work through how to build your site in WordPress, FAQs for things that you need to do, reporting bugs when you discover things that aren't working the way you expect them to, or even just updates as we go along of where we're going in the future. So this is where you're going to want to go. Now, a few things that we're going to cover in this introductory video, just to kind of get your feet wet with what WordPress is, and if you were new to the environment completely, or if you've been with us for a while and you have a site on our what we call Oreo theme, but we're going to move to a Gutenberg theme, it's going to be really important for you to be familiar with the site and the concepts that we're going to explain in the next coming videos. So first, here's what you need to know. When you use our theme, you're going to have a mobile-friendly website, and it's going to be accessible to various users. So what that means is we've taken the responsibility on us as much as we can to build accessible features into your website so you don't have to think about those things. So if you look here, as we make the screen a little bit smaller, we're going to make it responsive like it's on a phone. Things are going to stack and flex so that it looks good no matter what. So we've built all of the mobile friendliness into the site for you. You don't have to think about it. Just build your page the way you want to build your page, and we will handle the rest. Number two, we want to talk to you about a concept called measure. Now you can see on this page that we have a full width here where you have content on the left and a sidebar on the right. Now if you go to a page that doesn't have that full width of content, content is going to be stacked here in the middle. So maybe I can start with starting a blog page, and we'll show you, see how it does not go the full length of the page. This is called measure, or the length of a line. Basically, this just makes it easier for your web visitors to comprehend and digest what you have on your page. Next, if you've been with us for a while, you're probably familiar with things like widgets and content types. Now, when we moved to Gutenberg, which is kind of the next iteration of WordPress, it's not a thing we made up, it's a thing that is happening in the WordPress community, and we're just getting on board with it. So content types and widgets that you're familiar with in the old theme are now just called blocks. Everything's a block. If you made a reusable widget and you put it all over your pages, you're now going to have a block and you're going to put it all over your pages. And we're going to get a little bit more into what that means later. And then finally, let's talk about caching. Caching is what websites do so that they don't have to rebuild a page every time a visitor visits your page. For instance, we used the Gutenberg builder to build this page right here. And every time somebody would visit this page, the server would have to go in and pull all the pieces together and configure this page and then serve it to the user. Now, caching allows us to kind of make a little shortcut. It says, hey, we built this page once. Let's save a copy of the final product. And then next time somebody visits the page, we'll just give them that copy that we've already built. So it just saves a lot of processing work on the back end. And so that cache timeout is 10 hours by default. So what does that mean? It means if you ever have a problem and you're wondering, hey, I made an update to my page and I don't see that update being reflected on the page, like people are saying I don't see the new content, it's probably just cached. So there's a couple things you can do. Update the page again, and that should clear your cache. Or you can go up here to your admin bar. If you look all the way to the right, there's this thing called WP Rocket. And if you click clear cache, that's just going to flush all of the saved versions and rebuild all the pages. And normally 9 times out of 10, maybe even 99 times out of 100, if you're having trouble with people seeing your updates, you clear the cache and it's all better. So that is the basic introduction. Now we're going to get into the WordPress portion. Or the Gutenberg portion rather. So if you're ready to build your site, if you're ready to migrate your site to Gutenberg or build it for the first time, there are some things that you need to do over here on the WordPress site. Go to the Migrate My Site tab. You're going to click that in the navigation, and then we're going to go to pre-migration. These are the things that you need to have done first, which is why we call them before you begin. So if you click on that accordion, you're going to need a few things. First, have CER move your live site down to our pre-production environment. That's just going to be whatever your site is. For us, it's WordPress, so it would be wordpress.pprd, stands for preprod, .wfu.edu. So it's just going to be pprd right before .wfu.edu. That's going to be your pre-production environment. So ask us to move your site down. Once your site is moved down, we're going to enable Gutenberg theme on that site. And that just lets you start building with the Gutenberg theme. So then consider a content audit. Lisa has built out a very detailed page describing what a content audit is, how you complete one. I would take a lot of time to go through this, go through the exercises, read what she has to say about this, because if you're going to touch every single page on your site, you want to optimize it. You want to make sure you get rid of dead pages. You want to make sure that it's easy to read. Go through, take the time to content audit your site. You will not regret it. And then finally, any changes that you make to your live site during your migration where you're building out your pre-production site, make sure you reflect those changes on your pre-prod site. So what does that mean? It means if I have an About Us page and we have a team member join the team, and we add that team member to the live site, don't forget to also add that team member to the pre-prod site that you're building in Gutenberg. Because what we're going to do is we're going to take that pre-prod site and we're going to copy and we're going to overwrite your production site when you're ready to go live. So you really want to make sure that if important changes happen on your prod site, you do it on your pre-prod site while you're building it out. Just a little thing to remember. All right, finally, I've said that like 4 times. Finally, we have Gutenberg online training videos. So before you even start, before you even finish the rest of this training, what you might want to do is go through some of these classes to kind of get your feet wet and understand what you're dealing with. So these are as beginner as what is WordPress, how do you build your menu, how do you publish to the block editor, and then we have under intermediate, but we've gotten some feedback here. I mean, the title is even advanced, but advanced layouts with the block editor. So you might want to do that at the very end, but it'll really show you the full power and flexibility of the Gutenberg editor. This is how to create reusable blocks, like a lot like we used to have with widgets. Now they're just called reusable blocks, and you can use them multiple places, and there's still only one thing. We have a bunch of custom WFU blocks that all have their own training videos. And then, of course, we have detailed list of all blocks available, and we're going to go through that in the rest of the training. So that's what you need to know now. Get your pre-prod site. Go through the before you begin steps. In the next video, we're going to show you guys how to enable the Gutenberg theme on your site. And then we're going to go through a couple of the blocks that we have available.